Right, this is Tech Gaming Co again. Sorry about that flicker of the screen, the hypercam. I'm gonna have to sort that out. It's going a bit funny, but what can you do these days? This computer anyway. If you're wondering what my computer is, it's a Toshiba satellite, and it isn't good anymore. So, back to Dino PC, and this is definitely gonna be a really you're gonna need to pay attention to this one, because this one will definitely affect your computer if you're gonna buy it. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show all the different what should I do? I think I'll do something like the memory or the hard drives. Yeah, let's do the hard drives. The hard drives. There's plenty of things to do. Now, here we go with the hard drives. There's plenty of hard drives. As you can see, there's even branded hard drives, but don't just go for them because you really feel like it. As we said, they could be cheaper and they can be better. Well, I'm not going to spend too long on this one. This is the 500 gig. This is the smaller one you can buy with the computer that comes with it. It's an internal one. Works at 5400 RAM per minute. And the average seek time is 12 milliseconds with an 8 megabyte cache. So, the serial 80A2, definitely a good hard drive. But this is probably for the sort of smaller, I don't know, because a 500 gigabyte hard drive, if you don't really use the computer that much, but when you do, it's like for schoolwork and stuff like that, this is perfect. This is the one for you. If it's for work, if it's for schoolwork, if it's for university, definitely the one for you if you're going to buy it with your computer. Now, as I said, quickly moving on, this is the 1 terabyte. A serial 80A3, this one. Still internal, with a 32 megabyte cache and an average seek time of 9 milliseconds. And the rotational speed is 7200 res per minute. So, it's quite good, with it's as astonishing 1000 gigabytes with sophisticated recording technology, which is good for me because this is the hard drive I am going to get. A single 1 terabyte hard drive consumes 13 to 16% less power and provides up to 20% faster performance. Now, I don't know, you don't have to be an idiot to know that 20% faster performance is definitely going to make your computer a lot better. So you've got to pick wisely. So make sure when you go for your hard drives, the bigger the better. But the more pricey, like this one, 177, and it's only a 256 gig. So don't get caught out like that. So if you're one of them people who just love the extra space around them, if you love 2000 gigabytes of memory, the 2 terabyte hard drive is what you want. A serial 80A3 internal, again with the same cache, average read seek time and rotational speed of the 1 terabyte. They're not that different, but the only difference is that this has 3 platters on its disk. It has, I believe, a 667 gigabyte formatted capacity per disk, which I think it does say at the top there, if you didn't hear me. It is one of the best hard drives, really, because it's from either Hitachi, Samsung, Seagate, or Western Digital. So if you get a Seagate and Hitachi or a Samsung, you've really got good HDD 2 terabyte hard drive right there. So definitely the best. But it is the biggest you can get with a computer. With the 2 terabyte hard drive. It is the biggest one you can pick. That is the main memory. You can get an extra 3 terabyte hard drive, but they don't install that for you. So don't pick the 3 terabyte. Make sure it goes for the 2 terabyte unless you know what you're doing. So here we go. This is the 3 terabyte. Now this one is internal enclosure type, but as I've said, you have to put it in yourself. It's 3,000 gigabytes, 3 terabytes, and still a serial ATA3 interface with a rotational speed of 7,200 RPM, average seek time of 9 milliseconds, but the catch is 64 megabytes. That is brilliant. And yet again, it's HDD by Seagate, Western Digital, or Toshiba. So these are different. Now, my computer might be from Toshiba, and it might be bad, but I've had it for quite some time. Toshiba is a brilliant make of computers, so make sure you pick between maybe, I wouldn't say pick on this website, because this website are just brilliant at what they deliver, because all the things would be perfect. If you're looking for a hard drive, then make sure it's above 500 gigabytes. Let me give you my top tips today. So my first tip is make sure the hard drive is above 500 gigabytes. And why? Well, there are a few reasons. The first reason is that it's the smallest gigabyte that will boost the PC performance. Basically, if you get anything under that, the more you put on it, the slower it's going to get. With this, you can put quite a bit on it before it gets slow. So, that is the first tip. But the second one is slightly different. Make sure it's included in the overall PC price. Why? Because, you can get tricked, because as I was talking about, 2 terabytes is the biggest one they will self-install into the computer, and the 3 terabyte you will have to do it yourself. So make sure it's included in the overall PC price. Make sure you double check your purchase if it is in sort of extra hard drive or extra memory. If it's under that category, make sure you do not check anything from there unless you know what you're doing and unless you want that extra hard drive there. Finally, check the prices, because you can get tricked as well. This is going to save you a lot of money if you check the prices, because a good hard drive of say about 1 terabyte is about £54. So about £54.50 on this website. So make sure that it is no more than £54 if you're getting a 1 terabyte, because then you will be really in for a shock. Why? Because you're wasting money. That is the reason. So I thought it'd be a bit easier if I put the prices up here. Average for a 500 gig about £43, a 1 terabyte about £54, a 2 terabyte £71, and a 3 terabyte £107. If it's above this, make sure you do not get it, and you will be conned. It will not be worth it. If it's lower, brilliant. But if it's lower, make sure you check the spec. You've always got to check the spec. For instance, I'll go back to the website now. I'll go back to the website. For instance here, look. Make sure it's an internal enclosure type. An interface. It's a serial ATA2 for a 500 gig. Or an ATA3 for a 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, or 3 terabyte. You can get a 500 gig, which is an ATA3, but make sure that the cache is about 32 megabytes for the terabytes, and you make sure that the average read seek time is 9 milliseconds. Otherwise, it will not be worth it. That's my top tip. I'll leave you with the top tips. Make sure you don't get sconned.